A long time ago, my mom went into a naturist place, which is like big deal. Not telling you that that's the best thing for you, but she was there for a whole month because her body just burst into hives and they didn't know what it was. Anyway, so she was in this place, and the only thing that she ate for 3 days was fruits. I'm not saying you should do that, I'm just telling you what happened. And then she was in a diet where she would eat fruit in the morning, fruit at night, and then in the middle of the day, she would eat salads, vegetables, soups, and beans for protein. So I'm wanting to do this for myself, and I'm just showing you what it is that I'm doing. Hopefully it inspires you. I will let you know how I feel at the end of the week, and if it's something that will help you, I don't know, get started with something. So here it goes. So good morning. We got home last night really late. We found our house okay. Everything in the fridge was empty. So today I went shopping, and I haven't eaten breakfast. So the very first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to fix you my breakfast, and then I'll show you what it's going to be. But I want to show you my shopping list and how much I spent, so that you can get an estimation of how much it costs to eat healthy. Keep in mind, no meat this week, okay? So I'm going to be making a vegetable soup that is going to last me all week, and my brother's going to eat, so it's going to be for 2 people. And I'm going to make a different version of the soup for my husband. He doesn't like those 2 ingredients there, cabbage and cauliflower. So ours is going to have cabbage and cauliflower, his is not. Then I have some celery and zucchini and carrots to put in there, and then the bone broth. So that's pretty much for the soup. Got some garlic, some onions, and some tomatoes for the soup. Okay, and then for lunch is gonna be a mix of greens with more spinach and the lettuce that you saw there. I'm gonna put a little bit of a carrot, and maybe I'm gonna save half of the zucchini for my salad for today. Tomorrow's salad is gonna be slightly different. This papaya is not for today. That one is for tomorrow. Today is gonna be the blueberries, the blackberries, and the raspberries. Here's our protein: beans, cottage cheese, and plain Greek yogurt. This is for our salad. Avocado oil. I'm gonna mix a little bit of avocado oil with olive oil, a little bit of vinegar, give it a little texture with some salt. Maybe I'll put a little bit of garlic or something in there. And that would be the salad dressing, which is really not a salad dressing, but you know. And then we're gonna eat more fruit at night. Maybe the papaya would be for tonight. And then I'm gonna make a tea. And my tea is gonna have some lime. I have some lemongrass tea, so I might be using that. But apple cider vinegar and some ginger root. And what I've been reading is that helps your liver do its job better if you take this at night. It's been like 6 different people who said the same thing, so I'm going to believe it. And one of them was an Asian doctor, so you know Asians are really good with this kind of stuff. So anyway, this is what I bought, and this is gonna be so good for pretty much the whole week. So now here is my receipt. The cashier charged me twice for the celery. Duh. The most expensive item was the avocado oil. That one was $11.18. So I'm gonna subtract that because you're not gonna be buying that every single week. So the total comes to $80.40. So $80.40 for a whole week of meals, not just for one person, but for 3 people pretty much. It's pretty then good. On Saturday, we're going to indulge ourselves. We're gonna eat some scrambled eggs, and we're going to have probably a whole wheat waffle that my husband makes. We don't do the syrup anymore, even though sometimes we buy this no high fructose corn syrup, but we're not gonna do that. We're just gonna use some jam that we found that has very few calories, and I'll show you that when the time comes. But anyway, so it's not that expensive to eat healthy. I guess if you go to McDonald's and buy a $10 meal, and then you go to Subway and get a $12 meal, and then you go another day to something, I mean, you can spend the $80 in the whole week, but with only one meal with junk food, and no breakfast and no dinner and no salads and not all the good stuff. So let's see how this thing is gonna go. I'm excited about it. I indulged too much during the holidays. I tried to weigh myself this morning, and my scale is one of those digital things, and it said set it up or something, and I'm like, ugh. My husband is the one that has the app and everything to set that scale, so I'm gonna have to wait for him to do it. But after all the sweets and everything I ate, my blood sugar this morning was 106. I don't like to have it over 100, so I need to cut down on the sweets and eat healthy and get that blood sugar back to where it needs to be, and then start getting rid of some visceral fat, which is the whole purpose of this video. And to, motivate you, give you ideas, and then I'll tell you more about other stuff that we're going to be doing. Have a nice day. Not trying to advertise brands, but this Greek plain yogurt is more pure than other brands. So when you go to the store and you look for your yogurt, look for something that has less stuff. So 17 grams of protein, and this one has only 100 calories. But if you notice, the ingredients are just that. The other one had more ingredients that made it more creamy or puffy or something, but the calories increase by 140 calories. I don't know. You may think, oh, just 40 calories. Well, you know what? 40 calories is 40 calories. So watch the stuff you buy so that it has less ingredients and more of the good stuff. So 3/4 cups of yogurt and a cup full of berries. So here's my breakfast. I'm gonna keep it simple. I'm not putting any seeds or anything. Seeds add up to your calories. But anyway, so this is gonna be super yummy and not very many calories, but you still have your protein and you have amazing fruit in there. This is a really cool app I found. I'm not advertising any apps in particular, but you can find one where you can log your macros and micros. That would be great. This one I like because it gives you cheering moments. This is your basic sauce, the tomato, garlic, and onion. And I'm just gonna pour it in this pan. And then I'm going to let it simmer for a while. I have this old mixer blender, and then I can just chop my onions like this. I don't have to do it by hand. If you don't have one of these, then you have to do it by hand. The tomato, garlic, and onion, they're boiling nicely. So this is your basic sauce. This sauce is like for everything, even enchilada sauce, but then you add other things. So anyway, so that's just for the soup. I washed the celery and I'm gonna let it dry so I can put it in the fridge in a container that I will show you. But here is the celery that I'm gonna use for the soup. This is a handy dandy container I always keep here. And I fill it up with celery and it's always there, ready to use. So a lot of people don't like cabbage. I love cabbage. So I'm cutting a little piece of this big cabbage. So this is gonna make 3 different bowls of soup. So this is just for today. Because my husband doesn't like cabbage. He doesn't like zucchini. And he doesn't like cauliflower. I'm making his own soup without these 3 ingredients. Or reactants, like my daughter would say, since she's a chemist. So I don't buy small carrots that are already peeled. Because if you notice, after a day or 2, they turn all white. It's because they wash them or rinse them with something crappy. So anyway, this is gonna be for the soup. And I shredded some for my salad later. Here we have celery and onions, chopped onions, with olive oil. I'm adding some carrots. And just let them saute a little bit. So just to let you know what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna divide that and leave enough for this bowl. And this big one, I'm gonna take some of this for that one because I'm making 2 soups. For both of them, I'm gonna add the broccoli. But for the big one, I'm gonna add the zucchini with the cauliflower. And this is the cabbage. And then they are 2 different soups. Desirable vegetables in this one. This one is mostly broccoli and celery soup. The thing is, let it cook until, well, it's done. It's soft, however soft you like your broccoli and your cabbage. To these soups, you can add whatever you want or not put whatever you don't want. You can add potatoes, you can add green beans, corn. You can buy one of those bags with frozen veggies that are already cut and prepared and then just dump it in there. So experiment with it. You can put more tomato and some pasta and make it a fagioli soup. I hope you enjoy making some yummy soup. This one looks more yummy than that one. More cheering up with the app. And so here's my lunch. A salad, my soup, beans, and a yummy glass of water with lemon. the end result for lunch. For dinner, I'm just gonna fill up with some fruits and cottage cheese to have a little more protein, and that would be it for the day.